G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today, what I want to do is sort of cover a topic that I've been meaning to talk about for a while, but I haven't quite found the exact footage that I want and the exact way I want to phrase it. So I'm going to do my best. Don't hang me for what I'm going to say. Maybe take it into consideration, and if I'm wrong, then by all means let me know in the comments. One of the issues that I talked about in my video on repair costs, which you should totally go and watch if you haven't already, I do a pretty thorough breakdown of what I believe to be the best solution to the so-called repair cost problem. Now, a lot of people, when they go into jets especially, not just those that unlock their jets and find that they don't have silver lines, that's a problem that literally everyone in the game has come across. Doesn't matter if you have premium, doesn't matter if you're free to play, it doesn't matter if you use exclusively premium vehicles to grind out your tech tree. You will run into a silver line problem. And that seems to be by design. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's not my video to talk about it. I might discuss that in another video, but I've already discussed repair cost as it is. One of the things I find incredible, though, in jet combat is something that is honestly really, really frustrating. And I think it is the second biggest thing after teamwork that is missing from War Thunder jets in 2019. I already made one video talking about teamwork, and it was in fact on this map. Now, it's not exactly my teamwork or my team's teamwork that's bad, but in this video, I'll show you exactly what I mean. The enemies are going to throw their planes away. And I mean this quite literally. They are going to put themselves into such bad positions. And that might be due to inexperience. And I don't blame them if it's due to inexperience. It might be because they're impatient, because they've had a string of bad games. I don't blame them for that. It could be that they just want to get out of this tier of jets, and I don't blame them either. But if you want to win, and if you want to grind effectively, one of the things that you shouldn't be doing is throwing away your plane. Now, as you can see here, I'm squatted up with Whoop-de-Doo, and Whoop-de is a fellow content creator. He's going to get shafted this match, and we sat down for a long recording session, and honestly, it was pretty awful, because we had terrible teamwork, just like I'd thought about, and made the video on, and we also had a lot of people that would sometimes just throw their plane away. We had people that would full commit in head-ons. We had people that would just absolutely go ham and tunnel vision on a single target. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm guilty of this too. And everyone in the game who has played War Thunder for more than, 20 hours has been a victim of this, or has been a perpetrator rather. You see, what you shouldn't do in RB, because you only have one spawn, that spawn is very precious. And you also only have a couple of people. You have 15 spawns. Instead of, like tanks, you can have up to as many as you want until the timer runs out or until the match runs out. But in this case, you can see the F-80. Now, this guy might be new to jets. Maybe I'm a little bit too harsh on him. But you see, these two F-80s, this one commits in a head-on. And the next one is probably either going to commit in a head-on or do something stupid. Now, he's done the right thing by climbing in this in this jet, because it is a jet that you should be climbing in. But you can see that I've put myself now into a vertical, and he's just done a 180 turn for me. He's going to do another one, and this F-80A is going to come back. So they're just putting themselves in really bad situations, stalling themselves out in front of a de Havilland Vampire. You can see here, this F-80A is getting really hungry for kills, and he's just literally stalled himself out in front of me. Now, this is a bit of an extreme situation, but you can see a couple more things here. Look at the entire enemy team. They're on the deck. As a low tier jet, like an F-80A or an F-80C, some F-84s, F-3Ds, you do want to actually get a couple of 1,000 meters of altitude. You don't want to be throwing your plane away where you could have a little bit more of separation and a little bit more altitude to convert into some speed. Now, I'd like to focus your attention on this other F-80A who has tunnel visioned all the way to the Horton 229 and the other Vampire. Not only that, he's tunnel visioned himself so much that he's put himself into a vertical, and this vertical has slowed him down. I find this really, really common. This happens all the time in jets, and I get a critical hit on it. It happens all the time. People throw away their planes and commit to head-ons. They turn and burn all their energy. They do not play their jets and their props properly. And this could be just down to inexperience. And I don't blame you if it's down to inexperience. But at the same time, this is one of the best ways to save on your Silver Lions. Believe it or not, if you can get some time in battle, you can actually gain, sometimes, enough Silver Lions to cover the repair cost, even without premium. This happens a lot in jets for me like the Yak 30 or the LA 15, where I just can't get kills because I'm not good enough to get kills in the Yak 30. It just doesn't happen for me, and you can see I'm falling guilty just a little bit. You can see the committing to head-ons. That doesn't need to happen, ladies and gents. Do I need to make a tutorial on how to properly dogfight? Do I need to tell everyone how it goes and, how to pull away from head-ons and how to, stop fully committing to things? Because I think this is the second biggest thing that lacks from War Thunder. Because, again, everyone is committing, everyone is crashing into each other, and I see this more and more as time goes on. In 2016, this wasn't a problem. Sure, okay. Every time you take off, a Panther crashes. But now it's on both sides. Now it's on every side. Now at least one or two people crash every single match in jets. And it's not in combat, it's on takeoff. Things that are super basic that people should probably have pat down by the time they get to jets, it doesn't seem to be there. And maybe it's just me, looking in the wrong place. Maybe it's me just, I don't know, being arrogant or something like that. I don't think so, though. I think there is a real issue here where people are just not playing smart. Here's some tips. Never commit to head-ons, ever, unless you are extremely desperate. Never, ever stall yourself out in a jet. Never stall yourself out in front of another enemy. If you're in props 2 kilometers and in jets 3 or 4 kilometers away from someone who is closing on you, you're pretty much dead. And at 10.3, you can extend that distance to 6 or 7 kilometers. The closure rates in jets are crazy, and so you need to always have speed. This is one of the things that a lot of people, I find, just simply lack in War Thunder in 2019. Everyone's just in there for that 1 kill or those 2 kills, get out, and then go to the next match. And at the same time, they wonder why they're running low on Silver Lions. Now, don't get me wrong, there are issues with Silver Lions and repair costs in this game. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, one of the ways that you can prevent this, or at least alleviate some of that stress, is by not throwing your plane away. Not fully committing to the ground when you're on close air support. Not landing your plane rough. That could be one thing that causes you to die. Take your time with these things. Planes need to be set up, and the way you set things up depends on how you get out of them. And in most cases, people are setting things up poorly. They're not having enough speed or altitude when they go into a fight. They're not looking at the ground. They're not doing certain things like leading properly or taking their time to aim, and it really shows. And I think it's something that could potentially help to maybe take some of the stress off. It's not going to fix it. Obviously, there are problems, and I've stressed that in my video on on repair costs and Silver Lions. I honestly think there is something in this to take away, though, ladies and gentlemen, and I really hope that you find something like this interesting, or maybe it hits some part of your brain that activates it a little bit, like me. But anyway, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.